Thallus, 52 AD. On the whole world there pressed a most fearful darkness, and the rocks were rent by an earthquake, and many places in Judea and other districts were thrown down. This darkness appeared without reason, an eclipse of the sun during a full moon. Tacitus, in 56 AD, Nero fastened the guilt and inflicted the most exquisite tortures on a class hated for their abominations, called Christians by the populace. Christus, from whom the name had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilate, and a most mischievous superstition broke out not only in Judea, Marabar Serapion, 70 AD. What benefit did the Athenians obtain by putting Socrates to death, or the Jews by murdering their wise king? After that, their kingdom was abolished. God rightly avenged these men. The wise king lived on in the laws that he enacted. Phlegnon, 80 AD. In the time of Tiberius Caesar, at full moon, there was an eclipse of the sun from the 6th hour to the 9th hour. Phlegnon, in the 13th or 14th book of his Chronicles, also ascribed to Jesus knowledge of future events, and testified that results corresponded to his predictions. He also said, and with regard to the eclipse in the time of Tiberius Caesar, in whose reign Jesus appears to have been crucified, there were great earthquakes which took place. And Jesus, while alive, was of no assistance to himself when dying, but he arose after death, and exhibited the marks of his punishment, and showed how his hands had been pierced by nails. Pliny the Younger, AD 61. The Christians were in the habit of meeting on a certain fixed day before it was light. When they sang in alternate verses a hymn to Christ as to a god, they bound themselves by a solemn oath, not to any wicked deeds, but to never commit any fraud, theft, or adultery, never to falsify their word, nor deny a trust when they should be called upon to deliver it up. Suetonius, AD 69. Because the Jews at Rome caused constant disturbances at the instigation of Chrestus, he, Claudius, expelled them from the city. Nero inflicted punishment on the Christians, a sect given to a new and mischievous religious belief. Josephus, AD 37. Now around this time lived Jesus, a wise man, for he was a worker of amazing deeds, and was a teacher of the people who gladly accepted the truth. He won over both many Jews and many Greeks. Pilate, when he had heard him accused by the leading men among us, condemned him to the cross. But those who had first loved him did not cease. To this day the tribe of Christians named after him has not disappeared. The Jewish Talmud, a history written by deeply religious Jews. Jesus practiced magic and led Israel astray. On the day before Passover they killed Jesus. A herald went before him for 40 days proclaiming, "He will be stoned because he practiced magic and enticed Israel to go astray." But nothing was found in his favor, and they hung him on the day before the Passover.